Hey everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel Learn with Animesh, and you are watching Learn Playwright with TypeScript series. So in the last lecture we learned about Playwright Assertion. In this lecture we'll learn about what is weights in test automation, why do we need weights, and different type of weights in Playwright. Let's get started. The question is, what is weights in test automation? If you are a beginner in test automation, you might be wondering what is this weight and why do we need weights. So weights are a mechanism in test so that you can control the execution flow. You can pause the execution flow based on the elements. So sometimes what happens is some element takes longer than expected time to be successful in the operation. Let's say you are submitting a form, so you are clicking on the form, and based on your network connection as well as the server speed, maybe the form may be submitted in 2 seconds, 3 seconds, or it may take longer time depending if the server is not responsive or is busy. So in order to avoid those kind of synchronization issues and flaky test, we need weights in test automation so that your script run as expected. And every test automation framework like Selenium, Playwright, Cypress, so all those have a different mechanism to handle different type of weights. Explain the problem and how will we find the solution using weights. So there are some kind of inefficient weights and there are kind of efficient weights. We'll learn all of those weights, how to handle them in Playwright. Let's get started. If you follow along the lecture, you will must be knowing how to spin up this local server in your system, and I'm assuming you already set this up. In this, if you see, this is a single click me button. If you click this button, instantaneously this single click performed is coming. Similarly, if you double click in this, you will see that double click performed is coming. But in some cases, if you scroll all the way down here, so this timed action, so you see this is simulating a submitting a form. So you, let's say you fill all the form data and you are trying to click on the submit form. So sometimes it's happened that the server is telling you that submitting this form, please wait, this may take some time. And depending on the data and your network connection, that it may take, let's say, 2 seconds, 3 seconds, and then after the form submitted successfully, it will show a message like this: form submitted successfully. So in this scenario, when the weight is not predictable, if you don't use any kind of weight in your automation script, the script will definitely fail. Yeah, it might pass some time if the server is fast in response, but most other times it will fail. So in these scenarios you need to use weights. But let's say without weight, how this thing is happening, and till now what we learn, and how would you like to code this kind of scenario here. So let's say you do not use any kind of weights. So here you will go to navigate to the page and you will verify the page title, the page URL, and you are clicking on the submit form button here, and then you are expecting that the success message is form data submitted successfully is coming. If you go here, if you inspect this, you will see this as a submit form, and this success message is the ID of the locator. So our job is to, once we click the form and the form data is validated successfully, the server is returning a response that form submitted successfully. But this is there is a delay here. If you see, it will not come instantaneously. It will take 7 seconds. But depending on your scenario, it may take more than 7 seconds or less than 7 seconds. But in this scenario, this is just simulating a form submission. So let's see what's the issue if we are using not using any kind of weights, and then we'll solve the problem using the weights. Let me execute the script. Browser has opened up. But let's see, it has clicked on the submit form button, but the system message does not appear, so the test failed. So let's examine what happened here, what's wrong here. So you can clearly see this error message that it is expecting this locator success message to be present, but after 5 seconds that element is not found. And it is obvious, right? Because that message will appear only after 7 seconds, and by default that assertion have a wait of 5 seconds, so that does not actually happen and the test failed. So that will happen when you do not use any kind of waits. And let's now, we know that this is a problem, the test will fail because of the messages coming after almost 7 seconds. So how can we eliminate this? So to implement this scenario, Playwright has some kind of wait capabilities here. So Playwright have three different type of waits, which is a static wait, dynamic wait, and assertion wait. So let's first start with the static wait. So static wait is nothing but you add a line await page dot wait for timeout and then mention the timeout here, and it will wait. So when this line is getting executed, that execution will be paused for that number of milliseconds, and then the next line will execute. So you know that when you are waiting for that particular element to appear, it will wait, and then it will, this is kind of a hard coded wait, then the execution will again resume after that milliseconds. So although I am showing this to you, but always remember, never use a static wait in your script. So this is not recommended. Any kind of scenarios you are doing, don't use it, but I am showing you because you need to know what is a static wait, and as it's not, do not use this wait. So let me see here. This is a implementation of the same scenario using a static wait. So let's see if we are doing everything. We are clicking on the button, but if you see the line 23, we are using a page.wait for timeout. I am using this hard-coded timeout is a 10 seconds, which is 10,000 milliseconds. So in this line 23, it will pause the execution for 10 seconds, and by the time 10 seconds will come and this success message will appear, and this scenario will, assertion will pass. So but the drawback here is you cannot control this. So after 7 seconds the message will appear, but still this line will pause the execution for 10 seconds. So that's the drawback. It will slow your script. So it's not recommended to use static wait. But let's see if this actually solve the problem of the previous where you are not using any kind of waits. Let me execute this test for you. So the button has been clicked and it will wait for 10 seconds now. Once 7 second complete, the message has appeared and the test passed. So while static wait actually solves the issue, but you see the test passed, but see the execution time is almost 22 seconds, which is quite long. We want to optimize this solution because after 7 seconds, it might happen in the real time that it might appear in 6 seconds, or sometimes it may take 10 seconds. So we do not, if it waits like the element appears after 10 seconds, then the test will still fail even with implementing the static wait. So in order to implement this kind of scenarios with intelligent wait, so this is implemented and recommended approach by Playwright is a dynamic wait. So what is a dynamic wait here? So dynamic wait is a way where you are dynamically waiting for that locator to appear on your screen, and as soon as that dynamic wait is applied, and you will see that it will intelligently wait, and as soon as that locator is displayed in the screen, then it will actually perform the action, and it will not wait for that particular hardcore amount of time. So how Playwright uses this is, you have a locator, you know that this will take some time, so you just use dot wait for. So dot wait for is a dynamic wait, and it will, if you'll actually go to the Playwright documentation here, you see this wait for wait for is a dynamically wait, and you can use this on a locator. So this is always used in a locator, that this order sent and locator wait for. So what happen is, inside that you can use a state like attach, detach, visible and hidden. So by default Playwright uses visible. So when that element is visible, it will perform the action, and there is a timeout in number you can provide always. So the maximum time it will appear, let's say 10 seconds, 30 seconds. So by default there is a configurable amount of time, but you can configure it depending on your thing. So I suppose this is a 30 seconds of wait. By default is already configured, but you can check the documentation there. So this is an intelligent wait. So let's say it is taking 7 seconds for an element to appear. So as soon as the element appears, this will start performing that dynamic wait. So this is the test implementation using a dynamic wait or the same scenario. So if you see in line 34, we are clicking on that particular submit button, and then we are just checking if that success message locator is present or not. So we use wait for. This wait for will dynamically wait for that element, and as soon as this line 36 gets executed, we know that we are extracting the text of it, and then we are asserting that this text to be form submitted successfully. So let's see if we are able to improve that execution time using the dynamic wait, and if the test passed or not. Let's execute this scenario. So the script have already clicked on the submit form, and as soon as the message appears, that test passed and the page closed. So you can clearly see here the same test. If you are using dynamic wait, it is taking only approximately 15 seconds, and last only one test last time when you use static wait, it takes like for almost 22 seconds. So there is a significant improvement in your performance if you're using dynamic waits. Let's move on to the next type of wait in Playwright, which is an assertion wait. This is a really inbuilt feature here, assertion wait. So by default, assertions have a wait timeout, and you do not have to either use a static or a dynamic wait. If you are adding an assertion, and then you can dynamically configure the assertion timeout, and you can check in the documentation what are the assertion have those wait. Most of the assertions have a configurable amount of time, which you can use for waits if you are using assertion. So let me go here. The same test I have used. If you see, this is similar to the first one we have used. In line 48, we are clicking on the button, and line 50, we are checking that to have a text of form submitted successfully. But the difference here is I have used a timeout of 10 seconds, which is 10,000 milliseconds, which you additionally can pass. By default, the configuration is 5 seconds. You see, the first time when we are not using any kind of configurable time, only assertion, it was waiting for 5 seconds. So you know that this scenario may take, like, say, button may take up to 10 seconds. So you just use this timeout. So it will wait maximum of that 10 seconds, but if that element appears within 10 seconds, it will actually pass the assertion. So it is really dynamically check if the element is present or not. So this kind of wait is called assertion timeout waits, which you can configure. So if you do not want to use any kind of dynamic wait, then you can use this assertion wait, but most of the time you will be using dynamic waits and assertion wait in combination of something. But yeah, this is another way you can configure it if you want to. This will also act as a dynamic wait, and let me execute this. This time the assertion will not pause for 10 seconds. This time the assertion will maximum wait for 10 seconds. So if the element appears within 10 seconds, then it will actually pass that. But by default, any assertion have a 5 seconds of timeout. So let's see here, although this has passed, takes almost 20 seconds, but this does not wait for that like a hard-coded wait. So So this is also a configuration. This time maybe the server or network is slow, that's why it is taking more time. But this is all assertion wait is also a wait used by Playwright, which will actually help you to avoid those synchronization issue and flaky test. Time for a knowledge check. If you follow along the lecture, you must be knowing the answers of those. In the comment section, if you know the answer, then just comment it in the comment section and I will reply if these answers are correct or not. If you like the video, hit the like button, click on the subscribe the channel and check out my website learnwithanimesh.com, and don't forget to follow me on LinkedIn. I'll see you guys in the next lecture. Until then, bye.